Just learn.
Quarter 1 Module 2. The Better Me. For the learner. This module is designed to help you know more about self-discipline and the ways to be a good citizen. It also presents your rights as a child and the rights of the people around you. It aims to improve the way you deal with others at home and in your community. There are activities that will help you to recall and know the rights of a child, self-discipline and respecting the rights of others. You will also learn how to interact with others and know the limitation of your rights. You will write the activities in a journal notebook or a piece of paper to be submitted to your advisor, which will be included in your portfolio. Enjoy learning and doing your activities even in the midst of this COVID-19 pandemic.
This module has 6 interactive activities for you to follow, namely, Let's Try This, which will help you get ready to learn. Let's Explore This, which will guide you towards what you need to learn, keep in mind, which will give you the lessons that you need to learn and understand. You Can Do It, which will help you apply the lessons learned in daily activities. What I Have Learned, which will test and evaluate your learning. Share Your Thoughts and Feelings, which will help you express your thoughts, opinions, and feelings. Make sure to read, think, follow, and enjoy every task that you are asked to do. Have fun. Stay safe and healthy.
A few reminders before we start. Number 1. Watch and listen carefully. Number 2. Take down notes. Number 3. Pause and play the video for better understanding. Number 4. Replay this video for clear concepts. And of course, number 5. Enjoy learning. So let's start.
Learning objectives. At the end of the session, you are expected to be able to 1. Discuss self-discipline and child's rights including its limitations. 2. Demonstrate ways on how to develop self-discipline that affects your immediate community, and 3. Show ways on managing personal changes towards self-appreciation. Period. Week 2-3. Suggested total time allotment, 120 minutes. Materials needed. Notebook. Pencil, ballpen. Bond paper/piece of paper. Introduction. Have you ever felt the urge of doing a lot of things your way but ended up considering its repercussions and negative impact? Then, suddenly you found yourself following instructions because that's the systematic way of doing things. We all have our impulses. And sometimes, we have the tendency to just follow what we feel without even thinking if it will place us in a regretful situation. It takes certain control and mindfulness to catch ourselves doing irrational things. Our self-control will save us from suffering the consequences of our impulsive actions and eventually contribute in our maturity as an individual. You also need to factor in your habits as a good citizen, which include the practice of your rights. In this way, you can expand your understanding on how you can gain self-control and on how you can improve yourself. So allow this module to provide you the structure and understanding self-discipline and habits of a good citizen, including your rights as a child. Let us try this. Suggested time allotment, 10 minutes. This is me. 1. Get a piece of paper and a pen. 2. Doodle for a minute without thinking. Just feel free to do it in whatever direction. 3. After a minute, Try to draw a square, rectangle, circle, and triangle at the back of a paper. Processing questions. 1. How do you compare the two activities? 2. What did you feel when you were doodling and drawing figures? 3. Between the two activities, what needs certain control or discipline? Why do you think so? Let us explore this. Suggested time allotment, 20 minutes. Make an illustration of your previous experience where you think you lacked self-discipline that caused you a negative effect. You can use symbols, lines and arrows to do the activity on a piece of paper. Then, write an explanation below to be followed by your answers to the processing questions. Processing questions. 1. Why did you consider it an experience that lacked self-discipline? 2. What could have been the outcome if you had self-discipline at that time? Why do you think so? 3. Did it change anything to you as a person? Explain further. Keep in mind. Suggested time allotment, 30 minutes. Nobody is perfect, as the saying goes. We are all capable of committing mistakes. We have our ugly moments. Despite those unpleasant experiences in the past, we learn new things and eventually make these as our markers of improvement. It takes certain maturity and openness to develop self-discipline. You need it not because your parents or teachers said so, but because it is for your own good. Self-discipline is the ability to take control of yourself, particularly your behavior, emotions and impulses from committing thoughtless and irrational behavior that usually results in unpleasant and negative experiences. It takes time and process to develop self-discipline. It requires awareness to fully understand how it works. Before you achieve it, it is important that you have a deeper understanding of yourself and the situations around you. You need to be mindful of the triggers of your lack of self-discipline. For instance, if you know that you cannot resist chatting with your friends on social media while doing the school tasks, then, you might want to log out or switch off your device so you can focus. If you think that you cannot bear a certain situation and might lose your temper, you may consider avoiding it. Try to imagine your life without self-discipline. What would it look like? You may do things based on your impulse without considering its effects to others and to your future actions. Self-discipline makes you control your actions. It prevents you from making the same mistakes. Discipline gives you control over your life. As part of having self-discipline, it is important that you know the habits of a good citizen and the children's rights. It can serve as a guide in your development of self-discipline. There are many good habits that impact your immediate community. The following are just some of them. A. Follow the policies set by the community and government. B. Try to find ways how you can help others in your own capacity. C. Always be respectful and considerate to others. D. Be responsible and accountable to your actions and decisions. E. Preserve and protect nature. F. Be part of the solution and not the problem. G. Decide based on data and logic. One of the ways to be a good citizen is to respect the rights of others. Do you know your rights as a child and as a citizen of the Philippines? Rights are entitlements which everyone should claim and hold. Every person has these rights simply because they are human beings. Human rights are the same for all human beings regardless of their sex, race, color, language, national origin, age, class, religion or political beliefs, existing capacities, and abilities. Human rights cannot be taken away. They give people the freedom to choose how they live and how they express themselves. They also guarantee people the means necessary to satisfy their basic needs, such as food, housing, and education. Moreover, human rights protect people against abuse. Children's rights are human rights. The enjoyment or violation of human rights of parents and people in the community affects children's enjoyment of their own rights. Here are the rights of the child, according to Presidential Decree 603, or the Child and Youth Welfare Code. All children shall be entitled to the rights herein set forth without distinction as to legitimacy, illegitimacy, sex, social status, religion, political antecedents, and other factors. 1. Every child is endowed with the dignity and worth of a human being from the moment of his conception, as generally accepted in medical parlance, and has therefore the right to be born well. 2. Every child has the right to a wholesome family life that will provide him with love, care and understanding, guidance and counseling, and moral and material security. 3. Every child has the right to a well-rounded development of his personality to the end that he may become a happy, useful and active member of society. 4. Every child has the right to a balanced diet, adequate clothing, sufficient shelter, proper medical attention and all the basic physical requirements of a healthy and vigorous life. 5. Every child has the right to be brought up in an atmosphere of morality and rectitude for the enrichment and the strengthening of his character. 6. Every child has the right to an education commensurate with his abilities and to the development of his skills for the improvement of his capacity for service to himself and to his fellow men. 7. Every child has the right to full opportunities for safe and wholesome recreation and activities, individual as well as social, for the wholesome use of his leisure hours. 8. Every child has the right to protection against exploitation, improper influences, hazards, and other conditions or circumstances prejudicial to his physical, mental, emotional, social and moral development. 9. Every child has the right to live in a community and a society that can offer him an environment free from pernicious influences and conducive to the promotion of his health and the cultivation of his desirable traits and attributes. 10. Every child has the right to the care, assistance and protection of the state, particularly when his parents or guardians fail or unable to provide him with his fundamental needs for growth, development and improvement. 11. Every child has the right to an efficient and honest government that will deepen his faith in democracy and inspire him with the morality of the constituted authorities both in their public and private lives. 12. Every child has the right to grow up as a free individual, in an atmosphere of peace, understanding, tolerance, and universal brotherhood, and with the determination to contribute his share in the building of a better world. Human rights have limitations. The 1987 Philippine Constitution has an article about the Bill of Rights, specifically Article 3. These rights are not entirely set in stone and a person's human rights can sometimes be limited. Examples. 1. The freedom of speech is limited by the libel law, bullying and cyberbullying law. 2. The right of people to gather is limited by other laws on peace and public order. 3. The right to freedom of expression is limited by the law against slander. 4. The right to freedom is limited if you are accused of a criminal act. You can do it. Suggested time allotment, 20 minutes, start of week 3. Try to choose 2 good habits which you can relate to yourself and explain how they will help to improve your self-discipline. Then, choose rights that can serve as your reminder to always practice self-discipline. Cite an example situation for each right. What I have learned. Suggested time allotment, 20 minutes. How are self-discipline, good habits and children's rights connected? Do they affect one another? Make a simple symbol to show this and write your explanation below it in a piece of paper. Share your thoughts and feelings. Suggested time allotment, 20 minutes. Think of 2 situations where you always feel that it is hard for you to have self-discipline. It may be a situation that happens frequently to you. For example, not doing your schoolwork on time. Then, try to analyze what causes it. On the next parts, write the results. Follow the table below and write your answers on a clean piece of paper.
Just learn.